very lucky to have on the show Jean Piazza and Judy Papp. So both these ladies are part of the Wellesley Gardeners Guild. And I want to say that Judy majored in economics with a minor in French. And she's of Dutch origin, but grew up between the Caribbean and Canada. She retired a few years ago from a long career in software development and then joined the Wellesley Gardening Guild. I have to remember to say that right. Jean, on the other hand, is a business major who has lived on both U.S. coasts and whose career has spanned banking in New York City, medical device sales, and recently sales in real estate. Jean also spends her time volunteering for local charities and activities such as youth football, the Wellesley Education Foundation Spelling Bee, the Wellesley Service League, and now the Wellesley Gardening Guild. Welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, so awesome to have you. I'm going to ask you ladies to give us the website where we can get more information on the Gardening Guild. Is there a website?
It is exactly spelled the way our name is, which is the Wellesley Gardeners Guild.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I missay that? It's the Gardeners Guild, not the Gardening Guild.
Yes.
Got it. So it's the WGG.
Wellesley Gardeners Guild.
Gardeners Guild. Got it.
It's tricky, Rama.
It is. It is. There's so many ways to say gardening. So Judy and Jean, tell us about the WGG. What is it that you people do?
Well, I'm currently the president, so maybe you don't mind
please,
if I start.
Please start.
Please.
And I got involved in it because of the plantings and the flowers in the window boxes at the post offices. And I discovered that that was indeed a project that had been created by this, our club. And they had built the boxes and put them in at the post offices. And now, of course, it's a matter of maintaining them. So it means 4 times a year we do the plantings. We start in the spring, fall, summer, fall, and then the seasonal plantings for the winter months. And it takes a whole lot of coordination to make sure that we buy the plants and plant them, and then on a daily basis make sure that they're watered and deadheaded. And
so you're in charge of watering and maintenance as well?
Absolutely.
I can barely take care of my garden on my deck.
2 post offices.
2 post offices, that's
in
right.
town.
So how many members do you have?
We have approximately 30. It varies a bit between 30 and 40. And then we have a number of sustainers, people who no longer have the time to be active, but like to join us periodically for a meeting.
Lovely, wow.
As a matter of fact, we just came from a meeting now and we had a record turnout. So
Nice.
winter months sometimes are a good time for people to attend our meetings.
And are you also very active during the winter?
Well, we also, besides the post offices, we plant the boxes or the planters at the library. So the front entrance and the back entrance, I don't know if I have a picture somewhere of some gorgeous planters and very pretty plants that we...
I think you have some pictures of that, and we'll put that up and show people.
It's beautiful.
And do you do all the libraries or the main library?
Just the main
library.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. And that's in winter as well.
Yes, we have a fall planting probably next week, is it?
I think so. Right after Thanksgiving, it's coming up.
Wow. How interesting. So tell me some of your upcoming events. You have something coming up this weekend.
Well, and I'll give the floor to Jean because she has been hugely busy and very productive, and we've got a fabulous fundraiser coming.
Yes, do tell
Right,
us.
we do. We're very fortunate to live in this wonderful, very generous community.
It's always good to put that plug in for the
It
town.
is. The town has just really come out for this fundraiser, and what it is, we're raffling off this Saturday at the Wellesley Marketplace 3 different prizes, of which the grand prize will be a home exterior decoration for the holidays. We're calling it Deck the Halls. That's the name of the package. And one of the landscape companies called Nature Works Landscape is donating that, and they're going to donate their services and the supplies. And they'll schedule the date with the lucky winner and have it done in very early December. So the house will be gorgeous.
Awesome.
And our second prize is Belmont Tree and Landscape is doing something very similar with urns and planters and a lot of front door garland and mini lights. Another beautiful package. And the third prize will be a container, something as pretty as this decoration right here that you'd
is
love.
Gorgeous.
Right,
Is that
where-
like that red birch
Yes.
and pine and
Pine and
honeycombs
just beautiful, beautiful flower plantings. It's donated by Abe Bonadio and Sons out of Waltham. They were very, very generous to help us on this fundraiser. And then we have A Blade of Grass has donated a winter container, and Mahoney's and Weston Nurseries have donated gift cards. So we have
You've
some
got a bunch of stuff.
very
I
generous.
can't decide. I think I want them all.
I know. There's
Hard
not
to
a bad
choose.
prize
I'm
in the
thinking,
group.
wouldn't it look awesome with those mini lights?
I know.
In a winter landscape with all those, the outside planters and decorations. I think that's only your second prize, but I'm already like,
Oh,
I'm
there's-
already imagining how gorgeous that would look.
And this particular fundraiser, we're only limiting it to 200 tickets
Right.
sold,
Okay.
and the tickets are $20 each.
And how does one acquire raffle tickets?
Well, either through our website, thewellesleygardenersguild.com, or the day of the show, the Wellesley Marketplace. We'll be there from 9 to 4 selling tickets. The drawing, or 9 to 3:45. The drawing will be held at 3:45, and you do not need to be present to win. We will deliver this lovely container, and we'll get a hold of the winners.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're
And
very excited.
So it's part of Marketplace, and you'll be at Marketplace.
Yes, we're going to be on
And
the
that's
lower
how it
level.
works. Okay.
They've
Okay.
given us very nicely, offered us a lower level placement, so we will have our signage and all our beautiful
The
plantings.
tough part that Jean didn't mention is that we as members cannot buy the tickets.
Oh, no.
We cannot buy, and we all want it.
We all want
Naturally.
this, I know.
Naturally, I mean, you know what goes into it.
So we've got all our
Right.
neighbors buying tickets so we can look at it.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, maybe they'll share.
So all the proceeds will go toward these flower boxes at the post office. And Judy, also, did you mention the daffodil planting?
No, we actually do a number of other things as well. A few years ago, when they started planting daffodils to commemorate the marathon bombing and wanted to plant the daffodils all along the marathon route, we participated both with funding, and quite a few of our members helped with the planting.
How lovely. And how many miles is that? How many miles of daffodils through
That's a good
Wellesley's
question.
marathon
It's
route?
got to be between 2 and 4, possibly,
Yes.
from the Natick line.
Yeah, that's quite a
all
few
the way to the
bulbs.
Newton line. I'm
to
sure the
plant.
marathon runners could tell you exactly how many
exactly,
miles it
yes.
is.
Wow.
One of the other areas where we participate, we donate quite a bit to youth organizations or scholarships, and of course the Wellesley Education Foundation, which has the spelling bee, and I'll give the floor to Jean because she was huge in organizing that as well, and our club had a team that
This year, in the spelling bee this year?
every year.
How awesome.
And which means that we donate at least $500.
Right,
It
right.
was this year.
Yes.
And then we like to participate as well.
Right, and our members had the most beautiful floral
They
hats.
came dressed.
They did.
Awesome.
They entered it with beautiful
I know, I love it. I
costume.
love going in there because some people are dressed like bees,
Right,
and other people are dressed as flowers.
Well,
exactly.
but there was a competition, so that spurred us on.
Oh.
We don't always wear those hats.
But it was a fun night. So it's a very fun group.
Yeah.
We always welcome new members joining, and
And how does one join? Is that through the website as well? You can go and sign in if you're interested in joining.
how does one
Well,
join?
because there are a number of commitments that we expect from our members, it is best if you know someone who's already a member, just so that you can get a bit of an idea of what is expected
Right,
of you.
right.
That we have, of course, a membership fee, but we also expect you to participate in this fundraiser.
Right.
We expect you to help with the plantings
Right.
at both the library and the post offices, and to water. So not everyone is always looking for a garden club like that.
Right.
Right.
And so that's why we like to suggest to people, if there's someone that you know already, talk to them first, or else we have a membership person you can talk to.
And
as
that's
well.
that's on the website. You can look
Well,
it up.
I
and-
just noticed that our website is still with last year's information, so we need to update that.
All right.
But
So when you go home today, after this, you'll be updating that
Yes,
website so people can
definitely.
volunteer to
One
to-
more chore to do.
yes, to
Yes.
drive 4 miles along Wellesley and help you plant bulbs. That's a worthy cause,
Yes.
not to be
So
underestimated.
I made a few notes because
Sure.
for fear that I would forget something.
Oh, of
And
course,
for
do
instance,
tell.
This is a certificate we won or we received because we donated one of the bricks to
Oh,
the.
look at that. I'm going to hold this up. I'm going to hold it up for a while.
It has a little poem,
Oh, does it
and
really?
the poem is on one of the bricks that we sponsored for I don't know how many hundreds of dollars in order
Outside.
to, donate to the library.
And who wrote the poem?
One of our members. It's
Oh,
very
lovely.
cute. The poem says, "Planting with pride, front, back, and side since 2007, Wellesley Gardeners Guild."
Oh, how
and
awesome.
so
Look at that.
we've been taking
Great.
care of the library since then. I think
Yeah.
the post office's
Yeah.
dates much
Just
further back.
I think you originally, your group started in the 60s, like the late
Yes.
60s, right? So you've been active for a while.
It is. It's a very active group. It's a very fun group of women. We really enjoy each other, so it
Yeah.
makes it very nice to go to the meetings and join in the activities. And
Is it all mostly women, or do you have some men in there too, in the mix?
Not yet, but they're welcome
Ah.
to join.
Very interesting.
But
Awesome.
one thing I was going to mention too, that we also have quite educational meetings, and a lot of our members are taking courses at Mass Hort and other horticultural organizations. Some of them have quite high degrees in landscape design, or and one of our members had one of our former members had chickens. One of our current members has bees. So we are
Look at that.
we are very involved in trying to not only have pretty gardens but have healthy
Yeah.
gardens as well. Not
Yeah.
use pesticides. Get
Right.
rid of some of the invasives. Plant native or local
Right.
plants.
Right. So you're not only gardeners, you're actually academic botanists.
Stewards of the land.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Wow.
And we have a nice December workshop coming up where one of our members will lead the group and we'll make a centerpiece for our holiday table.
Look at that.
So it's very fun.
Huh. And this person has volunteered to make 30
She's bringing all
centerpieces.
the supplies and we're going to make them. We're all going to jump in and get involved and learn a little more.
Yeah, arts and
So,
crafts.
yes.
Once your kids grow up and you miss having those arts and crafts,
I know, here it is.
here it is, right? Awesome. That's fabulous. And I'm interested. Interested to know. Do the Wellesley High School students help out with any of your things that you do? Get those groups involved in helping plantings and
Well, as
stuff like that?
parents, we recruit our kids. I'm sure,
Right.
Jean, your
Right.
children have helped.
Right, my children help. We have had one situation last year where we needed the town post office boxes freshly painted. They were in need of some attention, and we did recruit some of the members, high school aged
good.
Key
children.
Club.
Yeah,
The Key Club.
Yeah.
They painted the boxes to freshen them up.
Right. And you also take care of the plants underneath the window plantings,
Yes.
the
Those
yews
have
and the.
been, we had to pull a few and we bought new ones and we water them and trim them, get the leaves out of them and the cigarette butts.
Right. Well, now we know why our post offices look so awesome in this town.
It's interesting. We take a
Yes.
schedule. Each one of us take a week, and we babysit the plants for a week, watering them. So if you ever see us in there every morning at 8 o'clock, you'll understand why.
Yeah, it's amazing. That is quite a commitment.
It's
On a
a-
schedule, and things need to be pulled, watered, trimmed.
Well, and for instance, times like July 4th,
Right.
it's not always easy to find a volunteer willing
Right,
to
right.
take on the July 4th watering.
Right.
But it's rewarding, and when I've been there, I've had always compliments from
Yeah.
people who are going to the post office. And once a friend of ours heard my story and then whipped out a $20 bill to
Oh, how
contribute.
nice.
So the town is appreciative,
Yeah,
and
which,
that is nice
which
to know.
brings me to my next point. So if people don't have the time to participate, can they donate?
Absolutely, because we have a fund. Our expenses are at least $2,000 per year, if not more, just for the plantings. And then, of course, we have our donations that we make around town. So between 2,000 and 3,000 is our annual budget for donating items to town.
And they would make out a check to WGG and
Yeah, that's all. They don't need to spell out the whole name.
yeah. Well, if it was me, I'd have to think twice about gardening versus gardeners. So
No,
it helps just to say WGG.
Yes.
Perfect. And did either of you have an interest in botany and plants when you were younger, or is this something that's recent?
I'm a very novice gardener in the group, so I'm learning every meeting. I've had an interest, but I've never had time.
So in a couple of years, I'll drive by and I'll find you have chickens and some honeybees.
I don't think so, Rama, but I'm learning every meeting, so I thoroughly enjoy it because there's all levels of talent in this group. It's great. It's great fun.
And you, Judy, you've had quite an interesting experience growing up all over the place.
Well, I did, and in retrospect, I realized the relationship because I was born in the Netherlands, but then my family or my parents moved us to the Caribbean, the Dutch Caribbean. And it was a very arid island. And we had a lot of land, but nothing grew on it. We had one sort of arboretum, and we had a tough time even getting water for that. So I remember that as a sort of a real challenge. And then we moved to Canada, where again we lived a bit in a rural situation where we had two rivers running through our rather large piece of land. And of course the contrast between the two and the fact that it was again in a rural situation made me more aware of plants. I think I was too young to be interested in gardening, but it always makes such an impression on
It
you
does.
where you grow up.
Right.
So when I retired a few years ago, I decided I really want to do more in my own garden, but I want to learn more, and I want to, for my the organizations that I donate to, for instance, are Arbor Day. So for years already I've made donations, but I've never gotten involved. And so I was just delighted to discover a friend of mine who was a member of the Gardeners Guild, and that was 6 years ago. I've loved it ever since.
Interesting. So please share some of the more interesting stories from being part of this group.
Maybe mine was last December. We made a holiday a tree that we all made out of boxwood, and I brought it home, and all my family and my friends were so impressed. They couldn't believe I made it. So I had to support it with pictures from the actual day we
Baking.
made it
Yeah,
to
there you
say
go. So
that
you can put the pictures
yeah,
around the tree.
it was just so
That's
beautiful, and
awesome.
this Christmas, this holiday season, I can't wait to do the centerpiece that we're working on in a few weeks.
So when people see you working outside, do they stop you and come up and say, "Hey, what are you ladies doing?" Do you get like comments, compliments? People stop by to chat.
When we were in our own garden, or
Oh, like
at the
around
post
town,
office?
around
At the
town.
post office, yeah. The post office,
Yes. Yeah.
definitely.
It's, as a matter of fact, it's the best way to meet your friends is just hang out
Right.
there at those window boxes. And of course they need deadheading periodically or a little bit,
Right.
weed out some of the leaves. So I always encourage the members to do that. And then the minute you start doing that, people stop by and
Yeah.
chit-chat.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
it's fun.
your hour project is about 3 hours
Right.
with all the socializing that you have to do
Exactly.
in addition.
But like Jean said, I have learned so much because I find it hard to believe that it has been 6 years that I've been in the club. And just recently, one of the members mentioned that there was a course in gardening landscape design at Maas Hort, which is just, of course, down the street in Natick. So I went there, and 3 of our other members of our club were there, and the room was filled. 100 people were there from just local people. So as a result, I have met so many interesting people who also have an interest in making their gardens more sustainable,
Right.
using less water, more healthy soil so you can eat the vegetables you grow.
Interesting. Well, I have to share a botany story with you.
Uh-huh.
So I met one of my best friends like 20 years ago in the first botany class that I took. So her name is Heather Brewster, and we still chat all the time. and she she was the friend that I made in my first botany class in college.
Interesting.
Yes, and we had all these experiments to do, and each of us didn't like our lab partners at the time, so we switched, and we made a great team.
Oh,
and
that's a
that's a
nice
friendship
story,
that has
Rama.
lasted for a long time.
So,
Nice.
Yeah. So tell me some of the surprising things that you've learned or picked up that you thought you already knew or didn't know about while being part of
well,
this group.
what is so interesting is our boxes are planted each year, but we have no blueprint. It's not always geraniums or ivy or whatever. So this year it was sustainable and sort of a hardy, drought tolerant theme. And the two people who were in charge of at least selecting the plants, because we generally do it with an entire group, but a few people do the purchasing. And they had this whole concept and couldn't find the plants at the nursery, and ended up, for instance, with curry. And I don't know if you've ever seen a curry plant grow. It is the prettiest. The colors are pretty. It's a very subdued, and it has a lovely shape to it, and it smells. It smells delicious of light curry. And those are the
interesting.
kind of surprises that I have been introduced to so many plants I never would have
I'm
thought.
assuming that's a tropical plant. Hard
It's
to.
still growing. We are about to change over to our winter planting.
And where
But
is this at the post office right now?
The main post
The
office.
main post office.
Yes.
I have to go and check out that curry plant.
Yeah.
But it might be that they already moved the boxes
Uh-oh.
because the soil was starting to
Right.
freeze, so we
Right.
had to move the boxes
Right.
indoors in
Right.
order to be ready for the winter planting.
So next year we'll have to be on the
But,
lookout.
if you're ever at the nursery and have a chance to buy a curry plant,
Oh, yeah, now-
they're
now I know.
hardy and very pretty.
And smell
all
wonderful.
delicious.
Smell wonderful,
And
yeah.
maybe next year, well, that's my new challenge. Maybe next year I'll cook with it.
Yeah,
So far, I've
yeah.
never cooked with it.
See,
And that's
gardening
my-
will
Yeah.
take it over in
Well,
the kitchen.
You know they have those edible flowers, right? That
Absolutely,
people
yeah.
decorate their salads with
Yes.
and stuff. So they can start a whole new recipe with the
Yes.
curry plant. Awesome. Wow. Well, this has been so interesting. Is there anything else you ladies would like to add?
No, we're just so appreciative for all the companies that came out to support us. NatureWorks, the Belmont Tree and Landscape Company, as well as A. Bonadio and Sons, A Blade of Grass, Mahoney's Garden Center, and Weston Nurseries. We thank them so much.
Looks like you got a
Their
great
support.
group of people there.
We did.
To
We're
help
very,
out.
very fortunate.
Awesome.
Well, and I want to add to what Jean is saying, the fact that this is one of their busiest seasons of
I'm
the
sure.
year. So for them to
Take the
work
time.
with us and then,
Right.
give us the time and the merchandise is really
Right. They have such a small window to do holiday decorating, and they're willing to meet with the winner the week after Thanksgiving, work up a game plan, and then get out there the first few days of December.
And do it.
Because everybody wants their house done
Oh,
right
of
away.
course, of course.
Right. So
Sooner the better.
we're excited to see the end product.
Yeah, you should take
Yeah.
some pictures.
Oh, we plan to
this
take
year
plenty.
and send them over.
Yes.
We'll have to display them. So.
I have one more
Yes,
item I would
please.
like to talk about.
Please.
Mass Hort always, which is right over in Natick,
Right.
always has a fundraiser in the in about a week or two. I think it starts, and it's called the Festival of Trees.
Oh, nice.
And basically, what it consists of is small trees or medium-sized trees, artificial, fully decorated. And they have them on display for about a week or two. You can come in the evening, it's charming. And then they have an auction, and they auction off the trees. And each tree is donated by whoever wants to donate them. So our club has, for the last number of years, gotten a tree, decorated it. This year the theme is birds, and it's adorable. It has all these little birds. And then you can go to Mass Hort and bid on one of the trees or
Ah.
so and see if you can win it. And in that case, I think we are allowed to bid on our
Oh, okay.
own.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, and participate. But that's another of, we do a lot actually.
I can
as
see
far-
that. I can
yes.
see that by this list that you've just given us.
It's a very busy group.
It is a very
Yeah.
busy and very fun group. Well, it's been a pleasure. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming on today. It's good,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
it's good to know what's growing in our neighborhood.
Yes.
Thank you.